welcome back to the channel. And as I promised, and hopefully I'll keep that promise, I'm gonna keep updating every single step of what I've been doing. So far I didn't set up the camera. I'm so sorry. It's just been a habit, but I will be setting up the camera on the rest of the subframe. So here's what I've done on the subframe so far. As you guys can see, I just made the upper bracket and just 1-inch aluminum tube, 1/16 thick. And here I'm just gonna take it apart. Already setting up all the small shenanigans on it. All right. So this is it so far. So the reason I did this is because my bike is so low, my tire is actually about to touch the tail, and like actually had marks on the bottom of my old tail section. So I decided to raise it about 2 inches or 2. Honestly, I didn't even measure it. It was high enough, eyeballed it. I was like, oh, that looks pretty good. And the main other reason why I did that is because every time I launch the bike, I just go flying back. So I decided to make this hump. This will stop me from sliding backwards, and this is where I'll be sitting. And this will actually raise the whole tail section, whatever that is. So the rest would be another pipe from here to here, or from here to here. I haven't decided yet. It all depends on how much room I need for the ECU and the battery and all the electronics and stuff. So this is it so far. I will keep you guys up to date. So here's what I did in the back as well. I welded this piece. It's just a 4-inch round pipe that I just cut a part of. I figured it would look a little bit nicer than having another pipe. And I can also mount bolts and nuts right to this instead of having another pipe, then make a bracket. I figured this would be 2-in-1. And this, where my lock cylinder would be, obviously I don't use that, so I'm just gonna have to grind a hole right there, and then I'll actuate it with my finger. And that's for the tail cover in the back, which would cover my ECU basically. So yeah, this is it for now, and you guys will see the rest of the progress on my next video. I'm back. Here's what I did so far.
Not bad, almost done.
Obviously, I'm gonna
Next, I need to make
to show you guys what I
under
did.
bracing.
But
this is the oil catch
this
can.
is my oil catch
it's actually
tank.
baffled
so
inside.
Inside, this is actually 4 different square tubes. And what I did is I drilled them right through. And I put mesh in a couple of them. This way, when the oil or the vent comes out of the head or the block, they will go right here. We'll have 2 10AN, one from the block and one from the head. And it will go into that mesh inside and all these holes. This way, when I go drain it, and they're all connected, by the way, when I come drain it from this side, it's gonna come all oil. And I will have the 2 vents right here, one here, one there, and I'll have 2 lines going all the way forward of the bike. So I weighted the subframe. It was 6.3 pounds, which is freaking light. Old subframe was 14.5 pounds. New swing arm, I didn't add the bracing yet. So next, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add the bracing from the bottom and nitrous bracket and all that stuff to be able to finish it off. But so far, it was 14.5 pounds. This swing arm that I built, it was 28 pounds. 28 pounds, yeah. 28? Yeah, 28.5. So that shows you how much weight I'm saving so far. Like the under bracing and the nitrous bracket, not nitrous, CO2 bracket, the bottle, that's probably gonna be like, I would say, I will find out, but I don't think it's gonna be that much heavier. And I'm so impressed of how everything went. Like the bike looks just dead straight. This thing is so much lighter. As you can see, like it's just, I'm so happy about it. You guys have no idea. Obviously I gotta finish welding this. It's only like tacked. I'm probably gonna weld it all the way. I haven't decided yet. So far, 8 pounds in the subframe. And as it seems, another at least 11 or 12 pounds on my swing arm. Not complaining. I think this is awesome. So far, I just lost 20 pounds, around 20 pounds, just by doing these 2. And there's more to come. We'll see what else I'm gonna do to make it lose a few pounds, but I think this is it. Anyways, guys, I will get back to you as soon as I start making the subframe. All right, so it's on the bike and I'm testing it. So it looks great. I'm really happy with it, but I have a problem. So the problem that I have the shock. I put the shock in and stuff, but really doesn't matter for whether the shock is there or not. This way I don't have to worry about compressing the shock, so I took it out and I wanted to see the suspension travel. So this is the geometry of the suspension basically, or the way the swing arm and the frame will absorb the power from the pressure from the shock. So if you look, and we're going up and down with the swing arm right now. So this is obviously like maximum extension. Like this is the swing arm maxed out. Like that bracket is basically maxed out. It would never even go there. So I basically lowered my bike to the spot where it usually squats. It usually squats a lot more. It probably gets here. It is lower than usual right now, and it probably squats to here. And obviously with the higher tail section, this is gonna make it so much better and have so much more clearance. But right here, if you see the rod, that's a ride height adjustment rod. So if I loosen these 2 nuts and I push it this way, if I loosen the bolts, at example, that would lower the bike, and if I tighten it, it would raise the bike. So as you guys can see, I can't put a pipe across because it's gonna hit the rod, unless I cut this rod, and I really don't want to in case I want to lower it. Or I'm kind of happy with this height. So technically, if I cut this stud right here, I should have more than enough space. And there's only one way to find out is by cutting it. So right now, this is basically the best ride. The bike is about 1.5 inches higher than right now anyways. So by me cutting it, I know for a fact I will clearance it and I don't have to worry about it as much. And I really don't need the extra, I don't know, maybe 1/4 pound or something. I don't know, whatever this rod weighs. I've been wanting to cut it off, but I never did. I think it's time for me to just let it go. It's gonna look cleaner, nicer. With all the support brackets and stuff, I think this is gonna be really nice. And it's definitely, I don't see why it wouldn't take 300 horsepower launches once it's all done, because there's so much bracing in the swing arm that's gonna help it from flexing. Like I'm gonna have, after I'm putting the pipe across, I'm gonna put one from here to the pivot point and one across here. And I might even put an X right here with the extra, with all the extra braces underneath the swing arm. This way it would give it a full, a unibody type of swing arm. It should be really strong. So I think that's what we're gonna do. And right here, I haven't decided if I'm gonna extend these foot pegs more out and back, or just go ahead and put right here my foot peg extensions. It's not really that far off. Like all I need is probably extend these pegs another, I would say, I don't know, maybe 2 more inches. I think that's more than enough, especially now that I'm not gonna go flying back. I think me extending these pegs are just gonna, it's gonna look cleaner and it's gonna work very good. I did take a picture to see how it feels with this subframe, and it feels really good. The only thing right now, it's this section is really wide where I'll be sitting. Obviously this used to be the tank. Now I sit right here. So I will keep you guys up to date and we'll see what happens next. All right, so obviously nobody's helping me here. So I cut the bolt just a hair, and that would allow me to go a little bit lower if I wanted to. So I put the tape across, and if you guys can see now, actually gets further as you go lower. So I think we're in the clear. I think we should be good. All right, as you guys can see, I cut it, and full range of motion, it doesn't touch. Perfect. I'm more than happy with that. So next would be, well, I ran out of material, so I can't do much. So I need to close these. I'm probably gonna extend these pipes all the way to the pivot point. Sorry, took me a bit to remember the name. So 2 pipes from here to the pivot point. Then obviously I'm gonna have some sort of a triangle made out of a, I don't know, 3/16 maybe aluminum, just to add extra strength to this section right here. And tube from here to here, and that's it. Be ready. Then I will start making all the battery tray and mount the ECU, and then we'll move on to the fuel pump. I just need to add some weight up front and increase the capacity of this fuel cell. So I made this fuel cell last year, works really good. The only thing is I'm gonna be racing the 604 True Legit, and that's mainly for a street bike. So I need to be able to do the drive, which is 40 kilometers. Therefore, I decided I'm just gonna use the empty space that I have in this section, and I'm gonna increase the capacity of this tank. Even if I get a liter or two, it might help. Something is always better than nothing. So yeah, this is it for now, and I will update you guys shortly. Thank you for watching and subscribing, and we'll get back to you guys ASAP. Thank you.